Controller's railway was busier than ever, especially on Duck's branch line. Most of the time, Duck was the only engine to pull trains on the branch. Donald and Douglas occasionally lended a hand, but they were usually working on the main line. One day, Edward was talking to Trevor when Douglas steamed by. He was in a bad mood, as he and his twin were very tired working with both the main line and Duck's branch. "Come on, Edward, stop cussing about in the sun when there's work to be done. The rest of us are tired and can use a hand." Later, Edward spoke to Douglas. "Trevor and I are old friends, and now that I'm working on the main line more, I barely have any time to speak with him anymore." Douglas rolled his eyes. "You know, the two of you have a lot in common too." "We do?" quizzed Douglas. "And what would that be?" "Well," said Edward quietly, "scrap." Douglas gasped. Don't mention that word. It makes me wheels wobble." "It does the same to Trevor, and rightfully so," said Edward. "He was being sent to the scrap yard, but the vicar and I saved him, and now he's really useful again. Even so, Sir Topham Hatt does need another steam engine here. It's unfortunate that there aren't any on the market anymore." "Aye, we know he does, and quickly." That night, Douglas was still working. He had taken the midnight goods train to a station on the mainland, where only the diesels worked. He was just shunting, ready for his return journey, when... Was that? The hiss came again. "Who's there?" asked Douglas. A whisper came. "Are you the Fat Controller's engine?" "Aye, I'm proud of it. Why?" "Well, I'm Oliver, and I'm with my brake van Toad and my coach Isabel. We've run out of coal and water, and I've no more steam." "But what are you doing here?" "Escaping." "From what?" "Scrap." Douglas shivered. Then he remembered Edward's story about saving Trevor. An idea flew into his funnel. "I'll be glad to help you. It'll have to look like you're ready for scrap and I'm taking you away." Their drivers and firemen agreed to help too. Everyone worked fast. They wrote scrap all over Oliver, Toad, and Isabel. Douglas then coupled up. "No time to turn round. I'll run Tyndall first. Come on." But before they could clear the station, they were stopped. "Aha!" called the foreman. "What do we have here?" "A Great Western engine, an Archer coach, and a brake van shoe. You can't take these." "Aye, but they're all for us," said Douglas's driver. "See for yourself." The foreman looked all over Oliver. Seems in order. Right away, God." "That was a near thing." "We've had worse," replied Oliver, and they forced ahead. It was daylight when they crossed the bridge and made it to the work station. "We're home!" cried Douglas. "Shh!" said the driver. "There are the works. We'll find a place for Oliver." Oliver said goodbye and thank you, and Douglas puffed away. The next day, Douglas told all the other engines about Oliver. "Sir Topham Hatt will have to know." "Sir Topham Hatt will have to know," said James. "Douglas should tell him at once," added Gordon. "Well, here he is," said a voice. "Now what's this all about?" "Beg pardon, sir, but we do need another engine for my branch line." "Yes, sir," ventured Gordon. "Yes, sir," ventured Gordon. "A steam engine, sir." "Well, unless one is shaved from scrap, there's little hope." "But, sir, one has." "Yes, indeed, and thanks to you, Douglas, he is now at our works. Oliver is just what we need for Duck's branch line." Duck smiled, and everyone else cheered. Now Oliver and Toad are mended and painted in full Great Western colors. Duck and Oliver are happy on their branch line. The other engines laughed at first and called it the Little Western. Duck and Oliver were delighted, and so the Little Western it will always be.